welcome back to my channel. My name is Belle and this is the Belle Perspective, and today we're going to be reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville episode 10. We Wanda marked the spot. Get it? Wanda and Mark. Whatever. It was corny when I was reading it. But I'm like, oh, Wanda and Mark. Okay, get it. Get it. Anyway, Boo's also a whole lot of mess going on. More gaslighting per usual, and also a little bit of Keke, which we're gonna get into it. And I'm girl, Keke girl. Girl. Anyway, so before we get started with the review, I'm going to ask that you go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I'm pretty sure you've been here before. And if you haven't, welcome. But go ahead and subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification just so that you know when I upload my videos. So, we are going to get started. Okay, let's get started. So the episode starts at Kimmy and Maurice, and shout out to Kimmy because their title company is the first black title company in Huntsville, Alabama, which is we sounding off. Congratulations. That is amazing to do. And so I'm assuming that Maurice went into law for real estate law. I'm assuming he went into law, real estate, maybe business, something like that. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe I should look that up. Anyway, I'm really not that curious, but I'm just asking out loud. Anyway, so Kimmy talks about opening up the very first black title company and that they're about to have their first sale closing on a house with the current client, and that's also like awesome. And Kimmy said that when Maurice said that he wanted to pursue law or go into law school, she said she wanted the title company. And so this is her opportunity to pursue real estate on her terms as opposed to pursuing real estate under what Maurice had originally planned for her, which again, this is a grown behind woman and she knows what she would rather do. Anyway, congratulations, Kimmy. Congratulations. So Maurice sits down in her office and he brings up the comeback group meeting, and Kimmy's like, listen, I don't want to talk about any meeting that ain't gonna make us no money. Do you hear me? I don't want to talk about no meetings that's gonna generate problems. I only want to talk about the meetings that are gonna generate the money, and I'm here for that. Where the money at? That's what we looking for. Okay, we trying to get to the money. Do you hear what I'm saying? I feel you, Kimmy. So Maurice basically says, when we asked the question about the group, would anybody change their actions and how they responded at Madani, and everyone said no, that they would handle things the same way, he said it was concerning. Now, I will pull Maurice's card on this because, Maurice, you were the one that got physical with people first, okay? You're the one that pushed Martell's hand. So you need to include yourself in that as well, because you did not say that you would have handled things differently, not to my recollection. And I don't think that you've held yourself accountable as you should have. I feel like you've been pointing your finger at everyone else outside of yourself. And you need to include yourself. So it's Maurice, it's Marceau, it's Martell, it's Mel, it's Wanda. All of you all have had a part in the destruction of relationships. So we'll just keep it at that. Let's just keep it a buck. Do you understand what I'm saying? So then Kimmy goes and says, when we know we can't kick people off, right? Basically, she doesn't want to say the show because she don't want to break the fourth wall, but she says we know we can't kick people out, but those people, the external or the auxiliary people that we bring on, we're kind of responsible for them. So just like Tisha and Marceau is responsible by proxy of Wanda, then Marceau and Maurice are responsible by proxy of Mark. And so Maurice is like, is she the only person that y'all seeing? And I feel like when he said that, I know who he was talking about. He was talking about Mel. He's like, basically saying, so we're only going to hold Wanda accountable when there's so many other people, including Mel, mainly Mel. And I don't think mainly Mel. Y'all know how much I don't too much care for Mel. I don't really care for her like that. I'm not a fan of hers. I don't too much like her like that. I think her personality is trash. But I feel like all blame should be meted out evenly amongst the group. But anyway, so he was basically saying, so Wanda's the only person you see, and I agree with him. Like, we're not gonna sit up here and point fingers at Wanda the whole time. That's just ridiculous, because that's not the only person who's causing the issues in the group, right? So I think Kimmy missed the point in that dialogue. I think that she was purposely dodging having to acknowledge Mel. And I've seen Kimmy do this season after season, purposely not acknowledging Mel and the things that Mel does. For what reason, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure. So I do feel like Maurice was trying to point out Mel's actions as well, and Kimmy pretty much missed the point. Whether it was on purpose or not, I'm not sure. I'm thinking this on purpose because she's been doing that since the beginning. So they also talk about how Mark and Wanda in their behavior is a little bit different because Mark is defending himself because someone Van is lying about their relationship, as opposed to Wanda, who is defending her daughter. So I think both motivations are valid. I just think that it's just going too far. Mel, on the other hand, since I can't justify why you responding the way you're doing, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out why. I can't find any justification as to why she's responding and acting the way that she has been with Tisha and Marcel. So we get to Mel and Keke. This is where the gaslighting begins. Okay, this is where the gaslighting begins. This is where I'm side eyeing if this was my cousin, she gonna have to meet me in the street. I couldn't. Let's get into it. Okay, so so Keke pulls up and Mel's in the basement or the garage or something like that, and she's telling Keke to meet her up, and she makes sure to let us know that she speaks to Keke pretty often. She just hasn't seen her in quite some time since she's been so busy with everything. And I'm like, girl, if you've been talking to Keke this whole time or so often or as much as you say you do, where has she been this entire show? We have not seen Keke since the first time we were introduced to Keke was when they had that barbecue. And she was over there fooling with Kimmy, saying, why didn't you lie about talking about Miss Wanda or whoever it was? Child, it's giving a friend of my, it's giving, what is it giving? It's giving a friend of my enemy is a friend of mine. That's what it's giving. It's giving a friend of my enemy is a friend of mine. That's what it's giving. That's what it's giving right now, Keke. And I'm side eyeing you, baby. If you're that shady, wow. Okay, so Keke lets us know that she had a prescription drug addiction, and I knew it had to be something like that because to warn someone about something, there's no other way around it. And I had made the prediction that it was drugs, but there was a rumor going around saying it was bed bugs. And I'm thinking to myself, both issues need to be warned about ahead of time. But I felt like bed bugs is just so random. So the prescription drug addiction makes so much more sense. And I appreciate her for actually calling it out and telling us, and even the recovery. So I will congratulate Keke for that. But the rest of this mess, girl, I can't condone it, girl. But I will congratulate you and shout you out for the recovery and the road that you have, how far you've come. So congratulations to you, and I hope that you will continue to be on the road to recovery because it is a journey. So Keke lets us know that Tisha and Marceau told Mel and Martell that she was struggling with drugs. She had just gotten out of rehab, and they basically warned Mel and Martell, like, hey, listen, she has a drug addiction. We let you have her come to your house. You might want to make sure that you cover up your prescription drugs and things like that. Now, in my mind, I can't blame them for telling that, because I would want someone to tell me who I'm letting into my home. I really cannot blame them for doing that. I can't. I cannot find fault. Now, how the message was relayed, sometimes to you gotta laugh to keep from crying, right? We don't know how bad the situation was. She's not gonna play it up. She's not gonna tell us how bad it was. We don't know what it is. We don't know how bad it's been or it was. So personally, I would want you to tell me, warn me before you let somebody up, before I allow somebody to be up in my house. Number one. Number two, we don't know how the message was relayed. Mel saying that they were doing it jokingly, but I'm not about to, I'm not listening to what Mel has to say on this one. I'm just not about to do that. And then, with the other part, I'm thinking to myself, so you mean to tell me, Keke, that you're going to compare Mel was comparing Martell's infidelity to being betrayed by Marceau and Tisha, allegedly being betrayed because Marceau and Tisha told Keke's business. That betrayal is not on the same level. That is not on the same level. And I wouldn't necessarily classify what Tisha and Marceau did as a betrayal. I wouldn't classify it as that. I personally would not. And I'm asking myself the hard questions. How would you really truly feel if someone told your business about being an addict? I personally, they were warning you because I was in a vulnerable state. Number one, if you had just gotten out of rehab. So had they had prescription drugs hanging around available for you to potentially take, that could have sent you down the road again. Like, I'm just not seeing how that was a betrayal. Like, I'm just not seeing that. I'm not seeing it. And then also, if Keke was such good friends with Mel, why didn't Mel already know this information? Why did Marceau and Tisha have to warn them about allowing her into their home? See, I don't understand the circumstance. I don't know the circumstance, and I'd rather have this conversation with all parties involved before I can start making assumptions, because I just can't go off the word of Mel and Keke, because again, it's giving your friend, the friend of my enemy is my friend. The enemy of my friend. What is it? The friend of my enemy is my friend, right? And I'm not here for it. So Mel goes in and starts talking about how she calmly approached Wanda, to confront her about all the lives that she was doing and talking about her kids and all this other stuff. And here I'm just thinking to myself, you starting off the story all wrong. She was like, yeah, I approached her calmly. You know how I do. No, girl, that is not. Now, had I not seen the episode and watched her, I would have thought that she actually approached calmly. But there was nothing calm about what she did, which further pushes my mind to think that Mel just be full of shit. Because then she goes and turns around and says, oh, yeah, and the cops were called and everything. Keke was like, girl, what? Ooh, what? Like, that scene was a mess. And again, what I don't understand is how Keke could sit there and allow someone to talk about her family. I don't care how. I'm at odds with my auntie right now, right? Me and my auntie cannot stand each other. And my auntie's a couple years older than me. We were kind of raised like we're sisters, but she is who she is, and I am who I am, okay? But I will not. Do you hear what I'm saying? I cannot stand mine. I cannot stand the ground she walk on. Cannot stand the ground that she walk on. But do you hear me? If I ever run across somebody who's talking bad about her, if I ever run across somebody who got something to say about her that's not positive, you best believe I'm sticking up for her. Give or take. Or I won't say nothing at all. Okay, I'm sticking up for her, or I'm not saying anything at all. Why? Because that is my family. I would never speak against them, no matter how much they have betrayed me, and my auntie has betrayed me on several levels. But I will not speak against my auntie. Not in front of nobody who I'm not doing that in front of y'all. You won't catch me. And so I understand Keke's loyalty. That is some danger, baby. When I tell you Keke is not to be trusted with anybody, if you'll do that to their family, whether they're getting along or not. So then Keke also brought up the fact that Marceau was trying to blackmail her with her own tea, right? And so they go back and they flash back to the conversation where they were talking about Marceau and potential women and all this other stuff. And Keke was about to say something, and all the family kept trying to get her to stop and be quiet, right? And we remember the episode, and Marcel was like, say it, say it, say it, and I'll burn this whole thing down. And she was like, I know you will, I know you will. He was like, you right, so you might as well shut the F up, right? All Keke did was create more speculation, getting people more curious as to what is actually happening, what's really going on with Marceau. And to me personally, Keke, if you was willing to spray your business, you might as well spray what's going on with Marceau and them. You might as well. So I'm side-eyeing the hell out of Keke. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I feel like Keke ain't shit. I feel like her loyalty is in the trash, and I wouldn't trust her worth a damn. If she were willing to do that to her own family, whether she cares about them or not, if I'm not fucking with a family member, I'm not saying nothing. If I don't fuck with them like that, you damn sure know I ain't finna say nothing about them in the street. Right? If I hear somebody speaking negatively against them, I may say, hey, that's my family. I don't fuck with them like that, but that's my family. We're not about to have this conversation. Or I'm leaving. I'm not fooling with you because I'm not about to. That's my blood. My blood runs through their veins. Their blood runs through mine. Why would I? And Keke and Wanda and Tisha looked exactly alike. I could not. My mama and my auntie exactly alike. We spitting images of each other, literally spitting images. How would I sit here? That's like me talking about myself. Keke wrong on so many levels, baby. Wrong on so many levels. Loud right to tell Mark put some lotion on the bottom of them heels. He had on flip flops, baby. When I tell you the crust and the dust was flying everywhere when Mark walked into that, because they met him at the park. It was all sitting at the bench. When I tell you the crust and dust that was coming from Mark's feet and all around, because Mark is straight dusty. So Mark is their oldest brother. So it's Mark, Maurice, and Marceau. Marceau is the younger one out of them three. Who would have thought that Marceau is the younger brother? Marceau looked like he's so much older than Maurice. It is crazy. Marceau had a hard life, baby. He had a hard life. He looking hard in the face, okay? So Mark said, if me and Van had a friendship, then I'm that's a really good friendship. He said she came to my house, and she's admitted to coming to his house. And again, I've already said this in videos prior. Somebody lying, and I'm thinking that it's Van. She's trying to save face. Maybe she's afraid or ashamed of dating down. All the things, right? You looking at Mark, you see he dusty as hell. Girl, who would want to claim that? I get it. But at the same time, boo, if you dated him, you should stand in your truth. But that's my thing about Melody and Van. They don't stand in their truth. They like to try to save face. They like to try to create a facade of perfection, and it really don't be that. And you can see through the holes, and it be fake. Melody got to be in fake problem right along with her mama, but she get it honest, right? So anyway, I think that Mark is probably the worst of the brothers. I don't know if he's the oldest in the chain of all of them, because I feel like it's a gang of them. But Mark is the worst of all of them. I feel like his misogyny is on a 10. Do you hear what I'm saying? Girl, it's the dust. It's the dust. I can't, you can see the dust from him. Yikes. So in the confessional, Maurice and Marceau basically say, they both admitted that Mark and Van had a relationship. Van is not admitting to the relationship. They don't understand why it wouldn't be a big deal to them, because relationships get denied all the time. But for some reason, this really set Mark off. And honestly, I personally feel the same way. Relationships get denied all the time. I feel like Mark probably has a vendetta. It's kind of like, you ashamed to admit me? Oh, I got you, right? And I'm trying to think of what it is. It's almost like Van knew she was dating down and Mark knew that Van was dating down, and because Van is trying to make it seem like she's so high and mighty, Mark has no problem trying to knock her down a peg or two to make sure that she understands that she was rolling in the mud with him at the same time, if that makes any sense. It's like, oh, I've never been with him. I would never date somebody like him. Oh, you didn't? Oh, you sure did. And look how dirty you got with me, right? It's just a mess. It's just a mess. Again, personally, you deny me in a relationship, I'm gonna turn around and be like, he lying, blah blah blah. But I'm not gonna go on the tirades that Mark done. And again, I don't know. I haven't seen anything. I don't follow him on social media. I don't know. I don't care personally what's going on. But I do understand a slither of what he's doing and why he's doing it. I don't condone it. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's just pack your stuff and move on, move along, scooch on. But people handle things differently, and I can't be mad at how they respond. You can't hit somebody upside the head and they get mad at them for pulling out a gun. Like, it's extreme, but that's how they respond, and they have to deal with the consequences of that. So Destiny and Tisha meet up. Destiny is so weird sometimes. I like Destiny, but I really wish that she would get her shit together. Destiny brings up Moses, who, by the way, girl, fine. Moses is fine, but he's also giving fuckboy. Do you hear what I'm saying? Giving fuckboy. And I was looking at him, I was like, he giving fuckboy. It's giving fuckboy. It really is. Now, he fine, but he also giving fuckboy. Almost like Homo sapien, maybe-ish. I don't know. So, anyway, Moses asking her to cook when she comes to visit him because they're in a long-distance relationship. And I'm thinking to myself, so this man, he asking you to cook for him? When you coming to see him, first of all, he not coming to see you. It don't sound like. He not coming to see you at your house. You having to fly out to go see him, from what it sound like. Then he mad at you because you not cooking for him. So basically, he thinks that you're a traveling maid or something. Is that what he thinks it is? Like, you travel for him and you come just to come cook for him and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if he had other women. I would not be surprised. You mean to tell me she comes to see you and the first thing you want her to do is provide a service for you? You not taking her out. You're not gonna wine her and dine. You're not gonna try to you don't even see her on the regular. And you're not trying to make things nice for her. Wow, okay. And she flew out. You haven't flown out to see her. Child, Destiny, it sound like you grabbed a whole nother fuckboy again. But whatever, girl. Anyway, so Tisha brings up Madani and Stormy bringing a Gucci purse and everything, and they basically admit out loud that what Stormy getting the Gucci purse was basically stunts and shows, right? Which we all knew it was stunts and shows, but it was also kind of like, all right, girl, the stunts and shows, you trying to extend the hand. I don't really got to make up with you like that, but I will be like, okay, girl, thank you. Anyway, so you all know how to do it. You know how to be nice, nasty. So anyway, Destiny acknowledges how Stormy came. She does admit that she felt like Stormy came correct after they have their conversation again one-on-one. Destiny basically tells Stormy, listen, hey, if you want to have a relationship with me, keep Mel up out of it. But we see in the episode before, Stormy don't do that. She go right back around to tell Mel everything that's going on. So anyway, I just feel like and we've all kind of acknowledged it, when you walk into, you having beef with somebody, right? You got beef going on, y'all arguing, y'all fussing, y'all fighting, that person has an event. You don't just walk up into the event and act like nothing's going on. That's probably one of the most disrespectful things to do. And that's exactly what Mel did. She walked in, hey girl, she may have spoke to her, but it was probably just as faint. Okay, faint as it wanted to be. And then she goes around and tells Destiny, when Destiny turns around and says, I should have had you escorted out like you did Tisha. Mel says, oh, you wanted a moment. Ma'am, Destiny made a great point. Boo, this is my place of business. This is Madani's reopening. This is a moment. This is my moment. I do want them. I am the moment. This is my stuff. And she's absolutely right. Like, how you come to somebody else's place, Don't speak to them. You don't acknowledge that y'all have beef. You're not even congratulating her. Nothing like that. You just walking in and doing what you want to do and then going to start some mess. And then you don't think you were wrong in any part. Like, that's craziness to me. On a regular day, that's a no go. It's a no go. So anyway, and that's all I'm saying. So Tisha asked Destiny, did Mel ever apologize? Now, you know good and goddamn well Mel ain't about to apologize because she don't think she did anything wrong, and nobody's gonna help hold her accountable for that. Whatever, fight me in the comments. Okay, so Mila's birthday party. First of all, Mila has such a cute name, and she's such a cute little princess. Love, love, love to see it. I loved how they had the party, the park set up for her birthday. Shout out to all the July babies. I think her birthday's in June or July. I'll just say summer babies. I'm a fellow summer baby, so shout out to all the fellow summer babies, because it be hot around your birthday time, but it be so fun. Anyway, Wanda arrives late. They've already sang happy birthday. Wanda got an issue with it. Marceau, Tisha pulled Wanda aside and trying to, basically tell her, listen, we putting boundaries up. We're not going to be talking about kids on social media. We're not going to talk about other people on social media. And I really feel like it needed to be said because, for one, if you're constantly giving these two rowdy people, Martell and Mel, something to fight with, Martell and Mel constantly need somebody to fight with. They need to have some sort of source of contention because they're the same person, right? If Wanda is continually feeding them, they're going to join forces and attack. Okay, that's been the mode of combat for them since day one, right? Oh, y'all talking about us? Oh, good. We can stop fighting inwardly and we can turn around, join forces, and attack everyone else, right? If nobody around them gives them anything to attack, then they're going to turn inwardly and fight each other again. And we saw it on social media. That's exactly what happened. So Marceau and Tisha are basically saying, listen, get out of it. Get out of it. They love to fight. They want to fight. They're always combative. They're constantly fighting with other people. The minute you pull out, don't give them nothing to feed off of. Don't give them nothing to do. You talk about your business. Show enough Miss Wanda. Talk about the things that you got going on. But do not give them anything, because the minute you do that, they're going to join forces and jump on you. That's literally what they've been doing. And so Wanda was like, listen, I'm all for the mess, baby. Let's get it started. I'm like, Miss Wanda, you still missing the point. You're not understanding. Getting about you. She right along with them. If you want to feed that mess, then you're going to keep on being in this foolishness. But we don't want to be in a mess. We are not trying to be in their mess. Miss Wanda said, listen, you put your hands in my face, and I get hurt. I understand. You put your hands in my face, and I'm like a piece of paper in the wind, baby. I'm flying off. Do you hear me? I feel you. I feel you, Miss Wanda. I feel you. Do not put your hands in my face. Out of all the things. Out of all the things. You can talk about me like a dog, child. You can roll your eyes at me. You can do whatever. But do not put your hands in my face. Do not come up in my personal space. It's just things you just do not do. I understand that. But again, if you give Martell and Mel reason to try to attack, they will join forces and attack, because they looking for anybody to burn their house. They looking to burn down anybody's house. They want, I wish you would say something about us. Don't say nothing. Let them go on. Because, baby, like we saw a couple months ago, maybe a month or two ago, there they are on social media bringing the kids in it. After we done had this conversation about boundaries and I'm talking about kids and all this other foolishness, they called the meeting. We need to have boundaries. We don't need to be talking about kids. We don't need to be bringing children in the situation. We don't need to be doing all of that on social media. First thing they do, go to social media, dragging the kids in. Martell posting video of the kids talking and talking about therapy. All this foolishness. Let them turn in on themselves. Let them fight inwardly and blow themselves up. Do you hear what I'm saying? And I was with Marceau on that. And essentially, I hope, since I've seen it, but again, I don't really follow them. I haven't seen or heard anything about Marceau or Tisha or Miss Wanda posting anything about the Holtz. So, anyway, get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Do you think Keke is wrong? Like, like even if you have beef with your family, should you go back and be friends with the person who's not cool with your family in the namesake of whatever you got beef with them for? Right? Is Keke wrong? What do you think about Miss Wanda? Just let me know what you think down in the comments, because honestly, this show strikes a chord with me. It strikes a chord with me every time I watch the episodes, every time I watch the show. Looks like next week Kimmy is going to get tested. Not sure for what, but I think this will make the show a little bit more interesting on a more realistic level. I'd rather see this journey as opposed to this in fighting in this foolishness constantly. So anyway, get down in the comments, let me know what you think. My name is Belle. This has been the Belle Perspective. I really appreciate you watching all the way until the end of this video, and if you made it this far, you might as well go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and or hit the notification bell and let yourself, so you can know when I upload the next video. Okay, I appreciate you for sticking around. You guys take care, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.